Back here at NFT Fest with the man, the myth, the legend, Voltura from Psychedelics Anonymous. GM.
What is up, GM?
Just want to address the elephant in the room. How many times do you say GM?
Once a day at least.
Once?
Yeah, once a day
Just
at least.
once?
It's also a really good statistical, quantitative answer of how well the space is going. Once upon a time, I got 600 likes per GM. Now we're bound to 250.
Oh,
so
wow.
the space is taking. We're taking.
You know you're in the bear market?
We're
That's a good
taking
indicator?
a serious dive. Yeah. So things are looking grim. Anyway, back to you.
What is your biggest ick within Web3 right now?
Conferences where people shield their projects.
Oh, is that a call out?
Dun, dun, dun.
Look, it's just seriously, people go to conferences to learn. I'm not here to learn about your project. I can do that in my own time.
You put out a tweet out the other day that said, "I only want to speak at conferences or talks that are 45 minutes." What was
An hour or more, wasn't it?
So it was generally speaking at least an hour. At least an hour. Nothing like 30 minutes. You can't cover enough in 30 minutes. Podcast scenario, different. But if you're standing up on stage, it takes a second to get everyone used to you, people understand who you are, cover the topics, then hit go. 30 minutes is not enough, in my personal opinion.
Cool. What do you love the most about the space?
Probably the sense of community, right? You can go into a Discord, a room, a Twitter space, whatever it is, and everyone based on what you hold or what you're repping will welcome you regardless. And that is something that I genuinely don't think I find many other places. Even if we go to a sporting game, we wear the same jersey, we're still a little bit oh, who are you? I'm not going to talk to you. But if you wear the same PFP as me, people are instantly cool, yeah, this is the person I can hang out with. I think that's the best part.
What do you think people misunderstand most about PA?
I think people misunderstand the most about PA would be collection size. So for us, when we started, I wanted to have people to have NFTs to do different things. It was little pieces of a game. It's like collectibles, right? You go to a toy store, you have little pieces of Lego, you put them together and you make something. I wanted that same concept for NFTs. But on the face value in a market where things are tough, the first interaction is supply and demand, economics of price. There's too much supply, therefore price is low and demand is low, right? So then that's a misunderstanding point. So in the bull market, that was fine. But in the bear market, people instantly just look at that because, let's be honest, most people are here for price appreciation. So I think that's the biggest misunderstood part of PA.
Coming into 2023, a bit of alpha for Psychedelics Anonymous. What's on the roadmap?
So I think coming back to that point around misunderstood, we want to focus more on specific products that provide value. The trait swapping marketplace side of things that we've been working on since before June, before we announced it, NFT NYC, is something that now almost every project is talking about, right? Genuinely, every project's talking about it. Moonbirds just talked about it today. The frogs, every other project is talking about trait swapping because customization is a natural path. So we want to put heads down and go into that as much as we can because customization is something that we all want to get used to. We get up in the morning, we dress a certain way, we customize what we wear based on how we feel. We should be able to do that with our digital identities as well.
What is your biggest NFT win, whether it be financial, artistic, product that you
Look,
built?
I think that's pretty obvious to most people. Buying an ape at $6,000 is pretty cheap, right? But also incredibly down bad. Let's be realistic. That was 500 grand in NFT at some stage. But I think the biggest win, actually, I'll tell you a quick little story. Biggest win was when I got airdropped my ape coin. And I was in Brisbane and I was at my place there and I was looking at the price and it got to $18 US. So it was $26 AU, I believe. And I was at dinner with my sort of second family, right? Not my parents, a family friend and stuff like that. And I was looking at it, I was like, how much is this? And they look at it and it's 340 grand. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is just dumb. I got this 5 days ago. This is stupid. So I was like, I've got to go. I'm going. So I just left and I was like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Race home, get out all the stuff, right? Hit the safe, open it up, put it on there, transfer all of it to CoinSpot. Shout out CoinSpot, not sponsored, unfortunately. And then I loaded it in and I was like, all right, slider up, full supply. And I was like, I'm out of this bitch. Sell. right? And then it goes, error, order size too large. And I was like, oh, and I'm just watching the price, just like, and I'm like, okay, cut in half, sell, error, order size too large. I cut in half a number of times until it was like, I think 25 grand lots. And I had to size sell, size sell, size sell, size sell, and I was just clicking that until it was all gone. I think that was the biggest, that was the most historic win that I had. I was like, that's too much money, man. Like you don't just get dropped that out of thin air. Like I'm out. So that was really, really funny. And then I went back to dinner. So yeah.
Vol, you contribute a lot to the space. What do you want to see people do more of in the space?
I think there's too much PvP action at the moment in NFTs. And that is portionally sort of represented by Twitter as a whole. Twitter as a platform is quite PvP, right? Like people do dig things up and make massive threads and expose people. And there's the cancel culture side of things. And that is a genuine sort of threat to a lot of people, especially a lot of times people get misrepresented, and that's unfair. And a lot of the time in our world we live in, you are guilty before you are innocent, right? In that scenario. So I think I would like to see collaboratively the space, work together more and be probably a little bit more forgiving as well. There are projects where people have put blood, sweat and tears on the line, and they haven't gone the way that they intended them to go, simply because shit happens and it's business, right? Most businesses fail. Most NFT projects, fail. Like that's just the world we live in. So I think the unforgiving nature of you try something once, you can never try it again. You failed in Web3, you can't do it, you can't do something else. I think that's wrong. I think we have to get over that if we really want to grow. And that's something that's going to take some time and some collaborative effort.
Final question, wrapping up.
Yep.
Describe the Australian Web3 scene in one word. Speechless.
I just say welcoming. It's genuinely welcoming.
Let's go.
NFT MELB, connect, create, collaborate.
Beautiful.